3, 2, 1, go!
The greatest.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Unlocking Levels. You are now tapped in with CO the Source, getting ready to level y'all up. Man, thank you for tuning in. This is episode 2 of Unlocking Levels, and I'm excited to bring y'all this episode. I hope you guys are liking the rebrand so far, coming from Blessed Beyond Measure podcast to Unlocking Levels. It's been a great process, a lot to do, but it's fun. I've really kind of locked into a creative state as I'm giving you guys new content, new form content, rebranding this from Blessed Beyond Measure to Unlocking Levels. It's been a really, really great experience so far, and I hope that you guys are liking everything and just more great stuff to come. With that being said, I want to get right into today's topic episode, which is how to deal with heartbreak and disappointment. This is a common type of situation that we all go through. It's inevitable in life. You're going to experience some form of disappointment, some form of heartbreak. And when moments like that happens, if you're not prepared, it can really, really propel you, or it can send you into a tailspin if you're not ready for it. So, this episode is going to really be discussing a lot of that and just kind of sharing some personal experiences that I've kind of been through in my own life. And just kind of letting y'all know how I've dealt with it, to be real with you. Actually, even out here in Hawaii, as positive of a guy as I am, I go through shit too. You know what I'm saying? It's just how I'm choosing to respond to it. And I'm choosing to kind of accept it of how it plays a role in my life. You know what I'm saying? And that takes work. And it's not necessarily easy in the beginning, but as you kind of continue to go forward, it becomes easier and easier and more manageable, and you learn how to navigate through certain things. And quite honestly, it's in life, you have good times and bad times. You know what I'm saying? We all go through stormy seasons. We all go through moments of sunshine where things are just going great. But you really can't have one without the other. And before I kind of digress too much from the actual topic of discussion, again, which is dealing with heartbreak and disappointment, I want to really just kind of take the time to let you guys know that if it's something super heavy that you're dealing with, if it's something that you feel like is just outside of your control, that you just feel is too much of a burden to bear, and you are having thoughts that are really, really difficult to process, please, I strongly urge you, reach out to a professional, call your doctor, call a therapist, talk to a friend, go online and have an online chat with a clinic of some sort. And please, by all means, even reach out to me. My contact information is widely available out there. I'll put it in the show notes. Even hit me up with a comment and just let me know what's going on. And if there's any particular way I can help, any advice I can give, I would absolutely be willing to do that. I'd love to do that. It's part of my mission and my purpose to help people whenever I can, because I know people have helped me. So I understand the importance of what it means to have somebody help you. You know what I'm saying? And please don't feel like you got to go through it alone, because you're not alone. I promise you, whatever you're going through right now, someone's been through it, someone's going through it, and someone has figured out how to get through it. So you will too. Just know that, and know that you're not alone. Know that you can reach out, know that there's resources, and know that you're going to be okay. It's just a stormy season at the moment, and it's going to pass. I promise. Every storm comes to pass. So with that being said, I think that it's wise to kind of talk about some of the common scenarios that might result in heartbreak or disappointment. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the common ones that you'll kind of hear is like maybe going through a breakup, right? Someone you've been with for either a long time or even a short amount of time, where you just caught feelings for somebody and it just didn't work out. You know, you got the door slammed shut on you. You got ghosted. You know what I'm saying? Like it abruptly ended, even though it was like things felt like it was going so good. Hell, maybe you even got cheated on, you know what I'm saying? To the most extreme, right? And those moments like that are really, really difficult to go through, right? Moments like that, getting rejected, maybe it's even like not getting a result of something that you worked for, you know what I'm saying? Like you might have been studying for something and you got a bad grade on a test, or you might have been prepping for this job interview that you were just like, I'm gonna get it, and it doesn't happen. It leads to disappointment, it leads to heartbreak, right? Or you could even just take an L, right? Like you could be playing a sports game, even a video game, and you're just like, damn, you got so much riding on it, or it seems like you got so much riding on it, and it just doesn't turn out the way that you envisioned it or the way that you desired the outcome would be. And those moments are very difficult to deal with. Those moments are moments of heartbreak, moments of disappointment, and flat out, honestly, they suck. They absolutely suck. From a human to human standpoint, I'm not exempt from it. Like, they suck. Nobody wants to go through that shit. It's very painful. It's very uncomfortable. It's very difficult to deal with. And we'd much rather just do a whole lot of different things other than actually have to deal with that and learn how to process that, especially when it's so fresh. You feel like you're wounded. You feel like you've just been through something. You feel victimized. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel like everything's against you. So it's really hard to see that patch of light that's out there for you. But I promise you it's there. And this episode, we're going to be talking about all sorts of different ways to help you get through it. Some of the coping methods that I've learned to kind of utilize and put in my bag to be able to access whenever I need to, when moments like that happen and life just seems to go awry. So, you know, with that being said, there's moments you just feel like you can't catch a break. And you know, like the saying goes, when it rains, it pours. And it just seems like life is just punching you left and right. You're just getting knocked out. But there's ways and methods to not only deal with it, but to kind of lessen the blow going forward, to kind of stay on top of things, to kind of not let things get too out of control so that you're not knocked off course that easily. You know what I'm saying? And there's ways to kind of just be ahead of the game. Just prepare yourself, stay ready so you don't got to get ready, because life, it's inevitable. Again, we're not exempt from it. I'm not exempt from it. We all go through some shit. Every single one of us on the planet. It's just part of the human experience. It's inevitable. And I think that's a great place to start, because once you really realize that that's the truth, that's the cold hard truth, and you've accepted that fact that you're going to go through times of struggle, through times of difficulty, through times of disappointment, through times of heartbreak, all of those different types of moments and situations that challenge you, that hurt, that are painful, that make you cry, make you sad, make you angry, make you confused. All of these different emotions, they trigger that out of you. It's inevitable. You're going to have moments that do that for you. And some of the common ways that we kind of usually deal with, especially myself from the past, I used to just kind of bury myself in work. I might be going through something that was really, really difficult for me to go through, and rather than giving myself time and learning how to cope with it and giving myself time to process it in my own ways, or finding out different methods of how to process it, I would just bury myself in work, or I would turn to drugs and alcohol, or I would just do something to completely just try to remove myself from that situation. And that doesn't work. I'll be real with you. It might provide a temporary fix, a temporary solution, a temporary feeling of like things are feeling better. But the reality of it is you're just escaping for the moment, but that's still with you because you haven't fully processed it. Now, it's again, it's common, and we weren't really, a lot of us at least weren't really taught how to deal with this when situations like this happen. And we kind of form communities with people that are going through other stuff, difficulties, and we form these trauma bonds, right? You hear that kind of phrase kind of thrown out a little bit nowadays, you know what I'm saying? But it's the reality of it. You find other people that can relate. You find other people that are going through similar things, and then you guys start to go down the wrong path together, the path of self-destruction, which is drinking, drugs, you know what I'm saying? Anything that's not healthy and conducive to you actually healing yourself from whatever's going on, or just simply dealing with and processing whatever's going on, you know what I'm saying? And in turn, you're creating a new trauma, you know what I'm saying? Like a new trauma that has to be dealt with. And the funny thing about that is when we turn to either just immersing ourselves and just drowning ourselves in work, or turning to drugs and alcohol or any type of substance that provides some sort of relief, then we're not actually dealing with the problem. What happens is the problem remains, the issues remain, the feelings, the unprocessed feelings remain. And over the course of time, as you remove yourself from it, they just continue to fester. And it's even worse when you wake up out of sobriety, because you're depleted now, but your problems are still there. The pain is still there because you haven't given yourself that time to process it. Now, I know for many of us, myself included in the beginning, it was really, really tough to want to sit down with myself after something disappointing happened, after something like maybe a breakup happened. Like all I wanted to do was hit the bar up and just go drink and just sulk and just, make myself feel better in that moment. And I don't blame anybody for wanting to do that, because it really, really is a difficult thing to go through. But like I just clearly illustrated, if you were to do that, not only did you not deal with the problems, but the problems are going to come back even stronger later on. And it's going to rear its ugly head. You're going to be depleted, and you wonder why a lot of us struggle with anger problems. We deal with bouts of depression. We deal with anxiety. It's because we don't deal with things head on when they happen in our lives. We don't allow ourselves the time and the space to process it. We just move forward like it's nothing that just happened, when clearly what just happened was something epic in your life. Epic in a fashion, I mean, that hurt, that caused some pain. You know what I'm saying? And we just act like it was nothing. You know what I'm saying? And we try to forget it. But the brain doesn't work like that. The brain doesn't just forget shit. It's gonna stay in your subconscious mind, and it's gonna rear its ugly head at some point, even if it's in small doses here and there. And that could be through agitation, through anger, through even fear, to be quite honest with you, because you're hurt from whatever situation, you're disappointed, you're heartbroken. And that can carry over into the next situation that is very similar to what you've just been through. And the funny thing about life is it's going to keep repeating itself. Like lessons and situations are going to keep repeating itself until you finally learn how to deal with them, until you finally learn how to heal from it and make peace with it and move forward truly, and just put that where it needs to be. And that's the only way you can truly advance. You're not advancing when you're just ignoring it, and worse, when you're just dipping into drugs, alcohol, again, immersing yourself in work and just doing things that are just not healthy and productive for you as an individual. So, with that being said, I feel like I understand where it comes from, why it's difficult for anybody to want to be alone with their thoughts. And again, I don't blame them, but once you accept that truth, again, like I said, that difficulty, hardship, disappointment, heartbreaks, it's all part of the human experience. You accept that as a truth. You can then begin to understand it more. You can begin to change your relationship to it. You know what I'm saying? You can begin to build the muscle of resilience to help you get through these difficult moments. And as time goes on, what you'll notice, as I've started noticing myself, as I've developed this mindset, it becomes a mindset. It becomes a way of looking at things that becomes so strong that you're like, oh, what is this trying to teach me? You recognize like, yo, everything that happens in your life happens for you, to teach you something, to help you grow, or sometimes to just redirect you completely. You know what I'm saying? And once you kind of embrace that, accept that as a truth, and you just flow with that understanding of life, you take it for what it is and you don't let it derail you. You know what I'm saying? It might slow you down for a little bit. It might, you know, have you slow down and sit down and process everything, but that's fine. As long as you do that, I promise you, once you get that momentum generated again, you're just gonna flow. You're just gonna move forward with very little resistance, or not necessarily very little resistance, but whatever resistance comes your way, you're gonna just kind of know how to dodge and bob and weave it. Like you've been here before. You've leveled up because of what you've been through, because of the disappointment and the heartbreak. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I feel like heartbreak and disappointment is very powerful. And again, if used the right way, it can really, really help you propel to newer heights. Or if it's used in the wrong way, or if it catches you off guard and you're not ready for it, it could just have you spiraling out of control. And we don't want that. We don't want that for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Which is why, like, I want to offer some of the different methods that I've kind of like learned to help me grow, to help me kind of heal myself, to help me process whatever it is going on. And honestly, you stand to benefit a lot when you kind of put some of these practices into place. You may not see the results right away, but I promise you stick with it when moments of adversity hit, and I promise you're going to find the benefits. You know what I'm saying? You're going to become stronger from it. You're going to become better from it. Not even just necessarily stronger. You're going to become better from it. You know what I'm saying? Isn't that the goal, is to be better? You know what I'm saying? And just understand how we can elevate ourselves. I think that's the goal for you if you listen to a podcast like this called Unlocking Levels, because I'm trying to help you unlock levels of potential within yourself. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, before you can even use heartbreak and disappointment to your advantage, let's talk about how to deal with it from the very beginning. And of course, fresh off disappointment, no one wants to hear this shit about how it can be good for you and all that. You know what I'm saying? It's just reality. Ain't nobody trying to feel that. You feel victimized. You feel like the world is against you. You feel like the world is on your shoulders. You feel like you don't want to do shit. You're just angry. Whatever emotion you're feeling at the time is the strongest emotion present. And you ain't trying to hear none of this shit that I'm talking about right now. So I think the first thing you want to do, the best thing you can do for yourself in moments like that, in moments of chaos, in moments of heartbreak, disappointment, whatever the case may be, one of the best things you can do for yourself is literally give yourself time and space. Remove yourself from that environment at the moment. Try to get yourself out into nature. Try to get yourself to a place where you can just be with your thoughts and be by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Where nobody else is going to disrupt your process of trying to figure this out, trying to understand what happened, you know what I'm saying? And allow yourself to feel whatever it is you're feeling. If you gotta cry, cry. If you want to yell, yell. You know what I'm saying? If you want to just throw punches in the air, do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, do what you need to do, but just allow yourself that time and space to do it. Our emotions are very important for us to kind of be aware of. And in moments like that, nobody can blame anybody for feeling erratic at the moment, right? So you need to kind of allow yourself that time and space to just vent it out, let it out. And then when you kind of come to a place of more clarity, when your emotions have kind of boiled over and you've kind of just, pushed out some of that energy and allowed some of that to just dissipate, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be good for you, because when you can finally start to think a little bit clearer, you'll realize a lot of different things. And that's going to be one of the first methods that you want to do for yourself. And I understand that we're not all afforded the time that we want to give ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We might have so many different things going on. Shit, something disappointing might happen at work, but sometimes you just need to cool off, to be quite honest with you. Go out for a walk around the block, get out into the air, close your eyes, focus on your breath, do something for yourself that can help you get back to neutral, get back to calm. Because when you're in any type of emotion, whether it's high or low, it's really hard to think straight. You know what I'm saying? It's really hard to kind of see things for what they are. So in order to kind of see things for what they are, you got to get yourself back to neutral. You got to get yourself back to that place of clarity. And it takes time. Again, it takes space, and it takes intentionality for sure. And you got to process those emotions. Let whatever dominant emotion that's going through your mind at that time, let it out. You know, be alone and let it out for a little bit. And you'll know when you're ready. You'll know when you're ready to kind of insert yourself back to wherever it is you're at, or not. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you might just need to go home from work. You might need to just leave completely for a little bit. And if you can afford to do that, by all means, go do that. You know what I'm saying? I actually strongly suggest it, even if you can't, because, you know, you might end up doing more damage and more harm than good by just trying to go and, you know, move forward in life without actually dealing with your shit. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I feel like everything I said right now, you're probably wondering, like, how is it possible to kind of make disappointment and heartbreak productive for myself? And I'm glad you asked. And if you didn't ask, I'm going to tell you anyway. Well, again, like I said, first you got to give yourself that time. That's huge. Like, probably the worst thing you can do for yourself is to just ignore what's going on and act like everything's all good and act like nothing happened and just continue moving forward with your life. And like I said, turn into drugs and alcohol, turn into whatever vice you got, and just ignoring whatever you're feeling by maybe even going to work and just like working hella hours and just not taking care of yourself. It's probably the worst thing you can do for yourself, because again, you're not dealing with the problem. You think you're dealing with it, but you're not. Those problems are still there. You haven't given yourself the time to process, to grieve, to understand, to make peace, to bury the hatchet. All these different things that need to happen before you can truly advance to the next part of your life. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it comes from like this society that's this hustle culture where it feels like, oh, you just got to keep going. And I subscribe to a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? I definitely believe in no matter what happens in life, you got to keep going. But part of keeping going to me is making sure that you can keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are times where you might have a busted wheel. You need to stop and you need to repair yourself before you can continue moving forward. There ain't no way you can continue a marathon if your shoe falls off. You know what I'm saying? You got to stop for a little bit. You got to put that shoe back on tight. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself right, grab some water, and then get back and race again. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's just how life is. And in moments like this, that's what you're going to have to do for yourself. You're going to have to slow it down for a little bit. Allow yourself to go through the motions in terms of getting yourself to a better space mentally before you can truly do anything else. And only you really know the full spectrum of this, right? Only you know just how bad it is or how much time you need. So, all I would say is just give yourself that time to listen to yourself, to try to figure it out. And there's no timetable. Only you know. You know what I'm saying? And, that's really important as you do that for yourself, because making peace with it is going to allow you to truly, truly continue living life in a healthier way without really any random events popping up in terms of like what came from that situation, if that makes sense. But I want to share some of the other ways, and I'm just going to go down like list form of things that I do to kind of cope with situations, to kind of cope with heartbreak and disappointment. And they're very simple ones, to be quite honest with you. And I've come to the realization that honestly, there's so many simple methods, and life is so simple in itself, but we tend to overcomplicate things. And I think that comes from a lot of different places, you know what I'm saying? But when you really boil it down, life is hella simple. That doesn't mean that it's not hard. Simple and difficult are not the same. Simple just means like, yo, man, it's simple. It's not it's not complex. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's do this. It's very cut and dry. Do this. But the act of doing certain things is where the difficulty lies, especially if you're not doing it often. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you got to just stay in a mode and a mindset that, like, you know, everything's happening for you again. You know what I'm saying? And like, you got to learn how to practice different methods. You got to learn how to, you know, even when things aren't going bad or going good. These are things that I have to do for myself every single day, as I mentioned to y'all in the past. Like, journaling ain't new. I journal like every day. Some days I miss, but like I get back to it. I just believe in its importance. Even if you ain't a writer, just get out there and write some shit. You know what I'm saying? Write whatever you feeling. The good thing about a pen and a pad is that it's not going to judge you. It's your personal diary. It's your personal journal. Write whatever the fuck you want in there. Anything. And it's not going to judge you. It doesn't even have to see the light of day. As long as you take it from your brain and you put it onto paper and just get it out of here and put it out in the paper. What I like to do actually is I'll write something like that I'm going through, and for me to just kind of forget it and just like not have to deal with it again, what I'll do is I'll rip it, crumple it up. I'll even burn it. That way I take it from my mind, put it into the physical form on a piece of paper, crumpled it up, burned it, and now it's gone. I just look at it, it's like a physical act of you actually going through a ritual and burning that thing so you don't have to deal with it. And that helps provide so much closure. You know what I'm saying? So if you can do that, by all means, please do that. But don't hurt yourself, all right? So, you know, my pyromaniac ass, man. When I was a kid, man, I used to just love playing with fire. So if you're irresponsible with fire, don't fuck around. You know what I'm saying? Just flush it down the toilet or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of it completely. You know, throw it through a shredder. Do whatever's safest for you. But that's a great way to kind of just process everything and then close the chapter shut and then be able to move forward. Another one I referenced earlier is getting into nature. Nature has so many healing qualities, healing components that can just help soothe you through whatever it is you're going through. Get into a forest, go to the beach, listen to the ocean, listen to the birds, you know what I'm saying? And just be out in the elements. Let the breeze take control. You know what I'm saying? Like, watch the sun, watch the stars, watch the moon, watch the sky, and, you know, just disconnect for a little bit, just for a little bit. Give yourself some time and space. And this is one of the best ways you can do it. You know, leave your phone at home, go for a walk to the park, sit there on the bench. You know what I'm saying? Just watch what's going on around you. Do whatever it is you need to do. All these little things can help you. They're simple things, very simple things that have such profound impacts. You know what I'm saying? That can really, really give you some great benefits that can help you deal with whatever it is you're going through, that heartbreak, that disappointment. You know what I'm saying? But it might seem so simple to some people that they won't do it, but then you won't get the benefits. Trust me. I'm out in nature as often as I can be. On my breaks, I'll have lunch outside. You know, I'll go walk to the park in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Just to be and touch the grass, touch the earth. You know what I'm saying? Touch some trees and just be there and just let that help me and strengthen me and heal me in many different ways. So that's something that I strongly suggest y'all do for sure. Or you could do something that I do too. Sometimes the energy is just so strong that you're just like, man, I need to move around. You know what I'm saying? I need to let some of this energy out. You know what I'm saying? Like, get your ass in the gym, go pump some iron, go lift some weights. You know what I'm saying? Like, get on that treadmill and just run. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you don't want to go to the gym, you ain't got no gym membership, go to the park. Like I said, even if you don't want to just sit in nature, go for a run, go for a hike, do something, do some push-ups. You know what I'm saying? Do something physically active, because what that's going to do for you is it's going to take that energy that's so strong and it's going to use it, and you're going to channel that into your workout. Now, you get a couple different benefits from that. You're moving that energy from out of you, and you're also leveling up in terms of your own fitness. So I think that's like a double positive right there. You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely one way to kind of do things. You know what I'm saying? I like to just like throw on my AirPods, maybe just like listen to a podcast, some soothing music just to kind of mellow me out. Or shit, if you really want to, throw some intense ass music on and get out there and just let that shit flow right through you while you're working out. That can help too. Only you can really figure this out for yourself, because you got to know yourself. You got to know what works best for you. You know what I'm saying? And for many of us, like myself included, what I used to feel worked for me was turning to the drugs and alcohol, you know what I'm saying, as like an outlet to kind of escape from whatever it is that I'm going through. But again, that shit just makes shit worse. So please, whatever you do, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Find a productive outlet for you to help yourself process whatever it is you're going through. I promise you're going to be fine. It's all good. You're going to be good. Like, whatever you're going through, you're going to get through it, man. I promise you that. Like, there's so many different things you could do and so many resources that you could tap into. And this is one other method that I really love to do too, which is, and I've been blessed and fortunate to have some really great people around me, a great circle of friends, a great circle of family members that I always have access to and I can talk to. You know what I'm saying? It's been that way for me for a long time. So I'm very grateful and blessed and fortunate to have such a strong support system. So if you do have a strong support system, I would recommend that you lean on them, people that are trustworthy, people that are looking out for your best interest, people that care about you, that love you, and just talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Let them know that you need them to listen. You need them to, just be there for you as you kind of just air your grievances out. You know what I'm saying? But if you're somebody that doesn't have many people around you or anybody around you, you know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't have to be, that doesn't mean that you're all alone. There's so many resources that you can tap into. There's hotlines that you can call. You know what I'm saying? There's people online you could chat with. There's therapists you could book online. There's therapists you can call. You know what I'm saying? Like, so please, I would just highly urge you, especially if you're in a moment right now where life is actually going pretty good for you, be proactive and start looking for a therapist right now. If you are somebody that doesn't have like many friends or no friends at all, or feels like you have no friends or somebody to talk to at all, book a therapist, because just staying on top of shit and being proactive with whatever's going on in your mind is going to do so much for you. Like, it's going to make you feel better already right now just to have somebody to talk to. We are social creatures. We need to communicate with one another. You know what I'm saying? We do have the need to communicate. So I don't care if you're the biggest hermit on the planet, even you need to connect with people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need someone to talk to. You know what I'm saying? But it's entirely up to you. It's use your own kind of discernment on like what you feel like you really need. But those are some of the strongest things that I can really recommend. Aside from that, here's a couple of different things that I really like to do. So for me, I'm not that bold in terms of taking a straight up cold shower right away. I like to take a hot shower first and really enjoy the soothing feeling of taking a warm hot shower. And then what I'll do is I'll crank the knob to cold and just take a cold shower. I mean, I do this every single day anyway, regardless of what's going on. like I'll take a warm shower and then I'll crank it to cold. And then what that does for me and what it can do for you, especially when you're going through these moments of hardship with these disappointment and heartbreak and everything like that, what it can do for you is once you're in that cold water and you're forcing yourself to be in it, what it does for you is it gets you back to a neutral state. You can't think about anything else when you're under that really, really cold, icy cold water and it's hitting your skin and your heart rate's going up, you know what I'm saying? And it feels so uncomfortable and painful and challenging, you know what I'm saying? And if you're not as bold as, if you're bolder than me, some people can do it. And I think I'm going to get there at a certain point too, even, because I practice all the time. I feel like I could just jump into a cold plunge right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying I like it, but I know that I can do it. Whereas before, I didn't want to do anything like that. I don't deal well with the cold. This is why I moved to Hawaii, you know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, cold showers can really, really help you. So what's going to happen is you're going to get turned back into a state of neutral, right? It's going to allow more clarity to kind of build up, right? It's going to allow some of that fog in your mind to just disperse. And then what happens from that point is you'll be able to kind of just see things for what they are. That will help with your acceptance of the situation. That will help you to understand what to learn from the situation. That will just kick off a whole set of different kind of steps in the process to actually closing the chapter on it and moving forward. You know what I'm saying? So allow yourself to do that. It takes work, y'all. I'd like to say that it's easy, and I'd like to say that this shit is not hard to do, but dude, the reality of it is life can get hard sometimes, and you got to deal with this shit. And I'm offering you different ways on how to deal with this shit. So please take some of these things and see if they can work for you. You know what I'm saying? Because they have certainly worked for me. I'll never get on the microphone and talk about something I don't know. These are all things I've done that I continue to do that help me level up, unlock levels of potential in myself. And I know for damn sure they can do it for you too. So please take that and do what you will with it. But I know it'll help you. And the last method that I can offer you guys is, actually, I got 3 more methods. You've heard me talk about meditation. I talk about meditation a lot. Now, I think this is for the more advanced people, because when you're going through something traumatic, heartbreaking, disappointing, you might not fully want to be alone with your thoughts just because you feel like you might be in a harmful state, whatever the case may be. So I don't suggest it if you're kind of just starting off. I suggest some of the more easier ones. Get out into nature, talk to a friend, you know what I'm saying? Go to the gym, write in your journal. Those are the easier ones to kind of deal with. But meditation, as you kind of progress, you're going to be able to sit with your thoughts no matter what's going on in your life, no matter how heavy life has hit you. You'll be able to learn how to truly sit with your thoughts and process them through that way. You know what I'm saying? That way it doesn't build up in your subconscious mind and doesn't erupt later on in some sort of randomized way. You know what I'm saying? So meditation is definitely something that I lean on for sure. When I need answers, I sit there, focus on my breath, and I just let the thoughts and the answers come to me. You know what I'm saying? I'll ask questions. Why did this happen? What can I learn from it? What did I do to deserve this? Things like that. And then answers come. And then you start to realize a lot of different things. And through all those realizations come breakthroughs. And when you have breakthroughs, you can truly take life for what it is. And you can advance in such a way that is conducive for your own personal growth, conducive to building your dreams, conducive to living a healthy, fulfilling, successful life, whatever that means to you. But obviously in the moment, you're not even thinking that far ahead. You're thinking about what's going on right in that moment. So when you allow yourself that time to process and find answers on your own, you will inevitably become stronger, become better, become more adept at handling adversities, promise you, it's a level up for real. So, give it a try. For me, also, something I just thought of while I was kind of coming up with different methods over here. And I've done this, myself. Like when I didn't quite know what could help me in moments of disappointment or moments of confusion, heartbreak, whatever the case may be, where I just felt lost, I just get on Google, I get on YouTube, and I'll type in, how to deal with heartbreak, how to deal with homesickness, how to deal with anger, all these different things. And guess what? Hella shit pops up. Real life testimonials pop up. You got people that'll put long form content out there, like myself, that will share transparently what they're going through and how they've dealt with it. And what I find this has done for me is it made me feel a sense of connectedness that you may not necessarily be feeling in that moment because you're so heartbroken, because you're so distraught from whatever's going on, right? But when you see what other people have gone through and how they learn how to cope with it, it again makes you feel more connected because you can relate to what they went through, and they can relate to what you're going through because they've gone through it. And there's people that are going through it right now. So you're not the only one. You don't feel like you're the only one on the planet that's going through all this heavy shit. You know what I'm saying? And I think what that does for you, it lifts your spirits up. You understand that, like, hey man, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only victim. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a victim. You know what I'm saying? Like, it happens for everybody. We all go through it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like not only will you learn how other people have coped with things, but that connectedness can be so powerful for you. You know what I'm saying? And it can really help you get back to neutral. The last one it's an easy one, to be honest with you. Whatever creative outlet you have, turn to that. Now, if you're an artist, just start drawing, start painting, build sculptures. If you're a writer, write poetry, write lyrics. I've done that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll write lyrics about like just heartache and heart pain and all that stuff, and being disappointed, and just letting that fuel the words. You know what I'm saying? And oh my gosh, the relief and therapy, the therapeutic feeling that you get from doing things like that, it's honestly, it's unmatched. It's really cool. If you're a DJ, get on them tables and just work on your craft. You know what I'm saying? Like, do something that, is your creative outlet. Get into that space of just like, learn how to take that energy, that emotion that you're going through, and turn it into something special. It doesn't have to be something that you're going to share with the world. You know what I'm saying? Just use it to get into that creative zone. Use it as fuel, use it as motivation. You know what I'm saying? Like, because again, if you don't know how to deal with it and turn it into something productive for you, it can easily send you in a tailspin. And we just don't want that. You don't want that. I don't want that. Nobody wants that. We all want to see each other win, thrive, succeed, and just have a happy and healthy, positive life full of love and just, good tidings. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, that was the last method. I really hope that helps y'all. And I know that these methods have helped me. And I stand on it. I stand by it. I stand on it. And I promise you, if you power through this stuff, you know what I'm saying, in terms of using these methods to kind of help you navigate your way through these challenging situations, you will be better for it. Give yourself time to process these things. Don't just try to repress these feelings and, and think that it's just going to go away. You're going to have to actually do something about it. And I'm not talking about drinking and none of that shit. I'm talking about actually dealing with it head on and putting in the work for yourself. Otherwise, it's going to rear its ugly head later on, and there's a lot of disastrous outcomes that could come from that. So strongly urge you to just take this as seriously as you can, especially if you're going through something right now. Hopefully this content has been able to help you. And, it's all love on this side, man. I promise you that. Like, whatever you need, like, tap in with me. Like, hit me up. Like I mentioned, my contact information is going to be in the show notes. Shoot me a DM, shoot me an email, even shoot a comment on this video, and I'd be glad to offer any type of assistance, direct you to other resources that can help. You know what I'm saying? As long as it helps you, as long as you're able to get to a better place from this situation. And if it's something I can assist with, I gladly do it. All right, y'all. Now, with that being said, this was another episode of Unlocking Levels, episode 2. Man, the content is just going to keep getting bigger and better. I promise you that. I'm getting more and more confidence because I'm starting to do this consistently more again. I'm in such a great headspace in my life right now. No matter what happens in life, I'm dealing with this shit head on. I'm making decisions. I'm knowing myself, trusting myself. I'm giving back to myself. And I am treading carefully in situations because there's a lot of different things currently that's happening in my life right now where opportunities are really just presenting themselves. Now, I don't really want to just jump into the first thing, the first shiny thing that's in front of me. You know what I'm saying? I want to think clearly on what it is that I feel like is going to be best for me. And sometimes, honestly, I just jump into things and I just trust myself to adapt. But that's because I feel like I know myself to a higher degree now. I know what I'm capable of. I know the type of person that I am and what I can bring to the table. I understand my value. So, and I know how to say no too. I know how to just like draw boundaries. I'm becoming more fearless in terms of like speaking up for myself, not standing for no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So, I promise you, as you work on yourself more and more every day, this life shit becomes, you'll start to see the simplicity in all of it. And then through that simplicity and applied practices of all these different things that you can do for yourself to help yourself, you'll find that life gets easier and easier. I promise you that. And with that being said, man, this is Unlocking Levels. I'm your boy, CL the Source. Thank you so much for tapping in. Make sure you to follow us, like and subscribe, share the content, do whatever you can to help this podcast grow, because all I want to do is inspire, motivate, fuel people, and just infuse positivity into the world. I'm always going to be coming from that purest place of love. So, whatever I do is always from the heart, y'all. And it's all for you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. Until the next time, y'all. Peace.